It always felt like companies were acting as if they were doing their employees a favor by letting them work remotely. Despite the fact that major corporations, like Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan, did phenomenally well during the pandemic, as almost everyone worked from home, there was still the undercurrent of wanting people to return to the office. It now looks like Google employees who want to continue working remotely may have their compensation cut, depending on where they reside. The search engine giant rolled out a new calculator to show what workers will be paid if they work in different locations. The gist is that employees who move out of the big cities to the suburbs will be subjected to decreased pay. For instance, Googlers who reside in New York City and work remotely won't see any reductions in pay. However, Reuters found that an employee living in Stamford, Connecticut, a town that has many people who commute into the Big Apple, would be paid 15% less if they work from home. Google employees who decide to relocate far from their office will possibly face sharp slashes to their pay package. Reuters pointed to a worker who left San Francisco for Lake Tahoe, an expensive area of California, would have their pay cut significantly by 25%. Back in May 2020, Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey announced that he'd allow his employees to continue working from home forever. Dorsey said, "We want employees to be able to work where they feel most creative and productive." Facebook founder and CEO Mark Zuckerberg said about remote work, "We're going to be the most forward-leaning company on remote work at our scale." While this sounded noble and magnanimous, there was an underlying threat to workers. At first blush, Facebook, Twitter, Square and other employees who've been offered the chance to work remotely were delighted that they don't have to commute, deal with annoying coworkers, endless in-person meetings and their bosses glaring at them. Some say that it's not worthwhile to live in San Francisco, Silicon Valley or other cities where rentals and houses cost a fortune. The taxes and cost of living are also too high. Many will leave the cities and move to places that offer more affordable housing, along with a better quality and higher standard of living. This can be a boon for many suburbs and warm, sunny low-tax states and a detriment to the cities that throngs of people escape from. Here's the Facebook catch. Employees will have to tell their boss if they move to a different location. According to Zuckerberg, those who flee to lower-cost cities may have their compensation adjusted based on their new locations. He ominously added, "We'll adjust salary to your location at that point." There will be severe ramifications for people who are not honest about this. Zuckerberg can now scout for talent all over the country and world.